Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to the Volumes YouTube channel to get more content just like this.
We gonna figure out if Jim Harbaugh is going to have an awful Monday next week as Aaron Harbaugh coming out. And I'm going to read the letter. I'm going to read the letter here. This is from Jim Harbaugh. This is officially released, Michigan letterhead, right? We have made a decision. Both quarterbacks have played great, done everything they could have, and in every way to win the starting job. Coming out of camp, I just feel we have two quarterbacks, Cade McNamara and JJ McCarthy, that we feel very confident we can win a championship with either of those two behind center. It's great for our team, but there's only one ball and only one quarterback can be out there at a time. So we're not ready to say who that starting quarterback is. But the decision that we have made is Cade McNamara will start the opener against Colorado State, and JJ McCarthy will start the second ball game against Hawaii. And then after week 2, we will make a decision going into week 3 on the starter and backup. Aaron, you are a former quarterback. I think this irked you a little bit.
It did. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Coach Harbaugh has coached the position. He's played the position. He knows what he's doing. But just go look at the track record since he took over at Michigan and look at the success at that spot. And there really hasn't been any success since 2015 for Michigan and quarterbacks. The best one has been Shea Patterson, for goodness sakes. He has not had an elite quarterback at all. And maybe that's part of the decision of why, hey, I'm not sure who I want to go out there and be my starter week 1. But being a former quarterback and being a guy that I've been in quarterback battles a lot in my life, and not having the confidence from a coach saying, either way, who's going to be the starter, who's going to be the leader, because you and I both know this, you're an offensive lineman. The quarterback has a certain leadership role in the locker room. He has obviously a major leadership role inside the huddle. And it's that one voice that kind of dictates the tempo of the team. It kind of dictates the tempo of the entire offense. You need the reps. You need the timing down with your receivers. You need the communication with your offensive line. You need the timings with the tight ends and the running backs. There's a lot to go into it. It's not just simple, hey, here's a football, go out there and play. If you want to be in a team like Michigan that's trying to repeat as Big Ten champions, as a team that's trying to get to the playoffs, you need every opportunity to make sure that your guy taking the snaps is ready to go each and every week, especially as conference play gets going. So I hate the decision. I hate it for the team. I hate it for the quarterbacks. To me, it seems like you're so worried about possibly, and this is real world now, the transfer portal. Coaches have to worry about this because the quarterback is a different position. It's not a receiver. It's not offensive linemen, running backs, or guys on defense where you can create some kind of rotation where, hey, you're the starter, but I guarantee you, hey, backup, you're going to get 30, 40% of the reps. You can keep guys happy that way. Quarterback, it's one. You always talk about the old saying is, hey, if you get two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. I think this is the situation here. Or maybe it's a situation of the transfer portal of, hey, I'm worried about one of these guys transferring. If I tell them, hey, you get one game, you get one game, most likely they're not going to transfer at that point. So I think that could be playing to it a little bit. But overall, like I said, I hate this decision. I think it's unhealthy for that quarterback room, and I think it's unhealthy for the football team. And I know you could still get away with winning those first 2 games. And if Ryan could bring up the schedule real quick, it's an easy schedule early on for Michigan. But once again, every rep is valuable. Every opportunity to take a snap is valuable in this league. So we saw Hawaii this past weekend. That game September 10th is going to be a big win, most likely a win versus Colorado State. You get essentially a third bye versus UConn once again. But you want to talk about building some momentum. You pick a quarterback, he goes out there and has a killer first 3 weeks, and all of a sudden this offense, who needs to be better this year because of what you lost on the defense side of the football, is saying, hey, man, we're an offense that is humming. No, you're going to be an offense that's still trying to figure out who the hell your quarterback is come that third game versus UConn.
Look,
because both quarterbacks are going to play well. The schedule and the opponent dictates that you're going to have success. So then what do you say week 3? When you have both quarterbacks excel, okay, well, each of you are going to get a half versus UConn?
Who played more well? No, I mean, look, the bottom line, Aaron, you hit on it. The bottom line, if you look at Harbaugh's time in Michigan since 2015, Jim Harbaugh sucks at developing quarterbacks. It's ironic. He played quarterback in the NFL. He should know it better than any position. He got successful quarterback play in the NFL out of the quarterbacks that he coached in the league. Like, it is wild. It is Les Milesian. And I can say that because I saw Les Miles try to develop quarterbacks firsthand. And I saw a year in 2008 in which Jarrett Lee threw a lot of pick sixes and it led to losses, right? Where Miles became so conservative, so terrified of turnovers that all of a sudden he was never empowering that position. He was threatening them. The only thing that mattered was not throwing picks, which led to a way over conservative offense, kind of from a philosophy standpoint, but also guys holding on the ball, pass fakes gets hardened, you're less threatening, less dynamic, all of these things. As you said, you don't have the confidence to go out there and play if you think that you're going to get pulled at any single moment. Jim Harbaugh is like as bad as Les Miles at developing quarterbacks. That's not crazy. The record shows you that. And so
Well,
as to the why, go ahead.
Well, right now, at this point, you've had spring, you've had summer, you've had fall camp. If you as if you want to consider yourself an elite coach, one of the top coaches in America, I'm sure he thinks things like that, and he is a top, I would say, 15 coach in America, especially after the season they had last year, and being a guy like you alluded to that's played the position, that has coached the position, that should know the position well. You're telling me, after seeing these quarterbacks play last year, once again, seeing them play in spring, seeing them play in fall camp, and seeing them in scrimmages, you can't properly evaluate the position well enough to say who you believe should be the starting quarterback. And then once again, it goes into the game right now for these quarterbacks saying, hey, the decision hasn't been made. I don't know if I'm going to be the starting quarterback throughout the season. How tight am I going to be in these first two games? Once again, I think the schedule allows these guys to still go out there and excel. But once again, like you pride yourself on being a quarterback guy. You should be able to, at this point in the season, this point in camp, I guess not season, this point at the end of camp, be able to say who is the better guy for my football team. Well, I honestly do. I think it has to do with transfer portal. I think he's worried about one of these guys picking up, taking their ball and hitting the portal and leaving. And this is his way to combat that.
Look, the cynic in me says yes, right? You always have to be aware of that sort of thing. In fact, Brian Kelly, just before the show started, announced that LSU will not be announcing a starter. Now, he was up front saying, like, it's for a tactical advantage. We have named it, but FSU got to play a warm game. We did not. So maybe it is about the transfer portal. But it's like you said, you're telling me that this guy with all this quarterback experience can't pick a quarterback. And that's where it gets so crazy and hard to understand. Is exactly what I'm telling you. For whatever reason, Jim Harbaugh sucks at getting good college quarterback play. I don't know what it is. If I wanted to play devil's advocate on this situation, and again, I don't love this type of deal because as a player, especially at that position, Aaron, I agree with you. You want rope to play with, right? It's like being an employee in any other instance. You want to know that your boss has your back and that, you're going to be empowered to make mistakes as you try to accomplish that goal. I've been in situations where I was only one MA away from being pulled, and it sucked, dude. It applies all sort of extra pressure, makes it hard to operate in. But if I want to play devil's advocate here, I do kind of like Harbaugh going with like the full-on Joker tactics. Like if you think about Dark Knight back in the day, when Joker breaks in, I think it's like Gamble's gang or whatever, and he kills Gamble, and then he has Gamble's two henchmen there, and he snaps the pool stick, and he drops it down in front of him, and he's like, hey, we're having tryouts, but we only got one spot available. Harbaugh going full Joker here, and with the easy schedule, again, to play devil's advocate here, with the easy schedule, you could almost treat this like an NFL preseason. Now, I don't know about Colorado State, but Hawaii looks like they are very much the rebuild that we thought they were going to be. UConn, while improved under Jim Mora Jr., they looked fine last week, but they're still one of the worst teams in the entire country. I guess it's going to be game 3. But the point is, like, this could be viewed as a bit of a preseason. My only problems, okay, this is what I would say. The only way I think this works, Aaron, is if you stick with whoever you stick with in week 3. Right? Like, I don't think you really have a quarterback controversy until you're making mid-game switches. If this is a true tryout deal and then we're going to make a choice and then give that guy a few games of rope to work with, the second that you have a bad series and you take him out and put the other guy in, that's when all bets are off and you officially have no quarterbacks.
Well, I want to go to you said, T-Bob, about of having a little bit of rope to play with. You look at the most successful quarterbacks in any league right now. There's a certain line of, and I would say this for most positions and most athletes across all sports. There's a certain line of cockiness and confidence that you have to tightrope, especially at the quarterback spot.
Yeah.
You have to walk on the field as a quarterback feeling like you're the baddest dude out there. Like you can make every throw. I don't care if I'm rolling to my left. I don't care if I'm rolling to my left or right. I'm going to make some Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers type stuff happen. Like that's what you need to feel like when you walk out there. Obviously, you got to be smart. Don't be an idiot. Don't try to throw the ball 40 yards across the field like Patrick does. But have that mentality that you couldn't accomplish anything.
Yes.
I think right now I'm a little bit worried about these quarterbacks of what their psyche is. It's a valid point of how confident can I go out there? How confident do I feel ripping a 18, 20-yard dig across the middle of the field? How comfortable do I feel trying to fit a ball between defenders? Because I know if I make a mistake, that's that may be my last chance as a starting quarterback at Michigan this year. So you want to be able to play free. You want to be able to play with some confidence. You want to be able to play with some cockiness, and you can't do that when you're battling a quarterback. I'm not saying controversy, but a quarterback dilemma here, where a quarterback has not been named. A coach obviously is alluding to not having confidence in either one of those guys, and that's why the decision still is yet to be made. So overall, I am worried about Michigan. Once again, I said it earlier. This is a team that had to rely on offense being better this season. Your star defensive end is gone. A lot of guys on that defense side of the football have moved on. It will still be a good defense, but offense is going to have to play a lot better if you want to be able to compete. What's the goal? The goal is to beat Ohio State. If you're going to beat Ohio State this year, you better score 40, 50 points. And right now, looking at the quarterback spot, I guarantee you Michigan will not score 50 points, even against a so-so Ohio State defense.
It's kind of funny because the quarterback coach relationship, right? Like you said, you want to create that irrational confidence in yourself, in the relationship itself. And this is almost like Harbaugh is coming to a longtime girlfriend and being like, I kind of want to try something new, a bit of an open relationship, right? Like how it's a sister wife. He's doing a sister wives thing. I don't know if it's going to play out. We'll see. Again, the only way I have no faith in Harbaugh to develop a college quarterback, as we said, but the only way it maybe works is they stick with the week 3 guy. We will see.